Hi everybody, it's Lasha from High Voltage. It's been a while since I've been on camera. If you've never been to this channel before, my name is Lasha Rico. The channel is called High Voltage. Every single channel on YouTube has an origin story, an intent behind essentially the motive, intent behind the content. So first of all, if you've never been here before, there's never really been a direct theme. However, there is an origin, intent, and goal of the channel. If you're interested in anything I've said thus far, which is nothing, you can look at some shorts and find out why this is a non-donation charity, why subscriptions are pushing the algorithm forward, plus views, so that I can make money, because this is a charity, and it's not a charity as in charity cases. Things are going to get rough. And there's two ways people are going to behave when decisiveness occurs. And I am Canadian. I live in the Niagara area, but I am going to start advertising local businesses, Canadian, in this town, and this is Beamsville. Okay, the reason this is beeping is because my mother, Geraldine, those of you who know her, she's in good health, but she likes her water boiled before she drinks it, because it's very healthy and relaxing to drink something warm at night. One of the things I'm getting really tired of, particularly with Love Meghan, and then I listened to two podcasts, and I will leave the podcasters nameless, but their behavior was shameless, the way they were picking apart Meghan Markle. I have nothing but pity for her. And usually with Meghan Markle, and what does all of this have to do with where I'm going? I do have ADHD, but that's a label. And that label, in air quotes, as they say, whoever they are, it's from trauma, period. There is nothing new under the sun. People would have been this way. No, I don't know if people would have been this way back then. There's too many triggers nowadays because we're overstimulated by the wrong things. So let's keep it simple, stupid, shall we? I don't mean you're stupid or I'm stupid. My uncle shared with me that when he started a job, and you have to keep in mind, my uncle has been on this planet much longer than all of us. And his boss said, just keep it simple, stupid. Just make it simple, okay? So the whole agenda of this video is times are going to get rough. People are either going to help each other or become really greedy. And one of the things that we need to do, as starting in the nuclear family, having meals together again, putting away the phones. I'm not going to worry about putting a wig on and makeup on before I come on camera anymore. I'm not doing it. You remember that movie that starred Rick Gervais, The Invention of Lying? This is where our society is going. And it's fine to be radically honest. However, you don't need to talk disparagingly about people, because it seems to me people watch hypocrites on YouTube is going to be the new television. I read, and I do not quote me on this, something like 6 million, I think it was 6 million people start YouTube channels every day. And so as far as I'm concerned, I've reached my goal, because we're so close to monetizing. But technically, when I say reached my goal is simply to help people. And what possible reason could I have in doing that? What am I getting out of it, right? That's what the way people think. What do I get from this? I do not think that way. So I'm either from a different planet, and I'm not going to make millions and millions of dollars from doing this. It's just a little here and there. This isn't going to be enough money to live on or anything like that. However, every little bit helps. And if this is a hobby, then why not share a bit if I'm okay? Making ends meet is very difficult. And I used to give away everything at the compromise of myself, which is stupidity. And I'm angry at myself for giving and trusting the wrong people. I don't know if you recall, for those of you that have been on this channel for a really long time, I had to have 2 roommates come in here, and they both had their issues, shall we say. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave that as it is. Be that as it may. I was so paranoid living here because I was constantly concerned they were going to steal things from me, which they ended up doing. And they had no place to live. They were homeless. And it wasn't because they were hard workers and had a few bad breaks. And no, they were full-blown mentally ill people hiding from unimaginable trauma that turned them against themselves. And so I suppose if somebody behaves that way, they just don't care about themselves, so they don't care about anybody else. And the woman was kind of sneaky, and so was the guy, because they act like they care, but they don't. So what I'm trying to say is there's going to be a lot of homelessness. And that's a scary thought. But remember, and especially in Canada, I was so proud of John Chrétien when he said, "From one old man to another, stop the nonsense." Because what Trump is doing is he's dividing Americans against Americans. Now it's going to be people that generalize ideologies. There's going to be debates about it, and then people are going to comment on the people who debated, and so on and so on and so on. It's almost like YouTube is turning into academia of some sort. When one person gets on one subject, that's what everybody's doing. But I'm very glad that I found a gardening channel. So what I want to teach you today after that rant is in Beamsville, there is a bakery, and it's called The Post. And right here is cheese bread. Now I'm going to just get the cost of the cheese bread. what else they do sell at this bakery. My mother walked up there today. So these are called bear claws, and they're $4.69, and they used to be like $2.78. So already he's had to up his prices. And this is in the community that I live in Beamsville, Ontario, Canada. And I don't care if I say where I live, I really don't. This sourdough rye bread, $4.89, March the 14th. So it's best before then, because today is the 11th, correct? Sunday was the 9th, 10th, yeah, today's the 11th. The Liberal candidate, oh, shoot, it's not Doug, it's Mark Carey, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm conducting a full video about the patriotism that Canada has, especially in the cities and in the rural areas. Nobody I spoke to wants to be part of the US. And that's terrible, you know. The best years of my life were living in Vancouver with my husband, working at Jenny Craig, and you don't know what you've got until it's gone. And it took me years to recognize that, and I'm 53, and we've been apart for 17 years, you know. But at any rate, so how did I get from that to sourdough bread? Date squares and sourdough bread. Date squares and sourdough bread. The post has to sue me. Dates and sourdough bread. Michelle, if you see this. Okay, so this is $4.89. That's usually about what the bread is. And my mother loves cross buns, raisin buns, $5.79. They used to be about $3. And this is the Post in Grimsby. Do not be angry at the baker. It's you see, you look at a micro level. I look at this house. And today, finally, remember I showed you that the kitchen